Airlines oversell flights by double digits, but somehow avoid refunding passengers most of the time. Your bag gets scanned at every checkpoint, yet still ends up in a different country. And pilots announce early arrivals even when the flight encountered delays. There's a reason for all of this, and it's not what airlines want you figuring out. I'm breaking down 20 airport secrets airlines would rather keep buried, because while they profit from keeping passengers in the dark, I'm about to expose exactly how the system works and what you can do about it.
Let's start with something that affects your wallet the moment you arrive at the airport. Secret 1. Airport ATMs are designed to drain your money. Those currency exchange booths and ATMs inside airports charge fees that are genuinely outrageous. The exchange rates are terrible, sometimes 10 to 15% worse than what you'd get at a regular bank, and the ATM fees can hit you twice, once from the airport ATM operator and again from your own bank for using an out-of-network machine. Before you even start your trip, you're losing money. The solution is simple, but requires planning ahead. Withdraw cash before you get to the airport. Use your regular bank or fee-free ATM in town. If you absolutely must use airport currency exchange, check the rate on your phone first so you know exactly how much you're being overcharged. Knowledge won't eliminate the fee, but at least you'll make an informed decision. Secret 2. Airlines routinely overbook flights on purpose. This isn't an accident or a rare occurrence, it's deliberate policy. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms that predict how many passengers won't show up for a flight. Then they sell more tickets than there are seats. The goal is to fill every seat and maximize revenue. When their prediction is wrong and everyone actually shows up, passengers get bumped. The airline will offer compensation, but you're the one dealing with missed connections, ruined plans, and hours of stress. Here's what most travelers don't know. If you get bumped involuntarily, you're entitled to compensation under federal regulations. The amount depends on how long you're delayed and whether it's domestic or international. Don't just accept a voucher without knowing what you're legally owed. And if you check in early for overbooked flights, you actually increase your chances of getting an upgrade instead of getting bumped, because airlines move passengers around to optimize the situation. That's about airline economics, but this next one affects your health directly. Secret 3. Airplane cabins are not as clean as you think. Airlines talk about their cleaning procedures and make it sound thorough. What they don't advertise is that deep cleaning happens about once a month. Between flights, you're getting a quick wipe down that hits the most visible surfaces. The plane you're boarding has already carried hundreds of passengers that same day, and all their germs are still there. Tray tables are particularly disgusting. Flight attendants have confirmed that passengers use them for everything from diaper changes to storing half-eaten food. The seat back pocket in front of you, that's where people stuff used tissues, trash, and things I won't even describe. Bring disinfectant wipes and use them. Wipe down your tray table, armrests, and seatbelt buckle before you settle in. Don't put food directly on the tray table surface. This sounds paranoid until you realize you're sitting in a confined space that's been occupied by potentially sick people all day with minimal cleaning between them and you. Now, those first 3 secrets save you money and protect your health, but this next group is about how airports are physically designed to manipulate your behavior.
Secret 4. Airport food and drinks are massively marked up because you have no alternative. Once you're past security, you're a captive audience. The airport knows it, the vendors know it, and they price accordingly. An $8 bottle of water, $12 for a mediocre sandwich, $20 for a basic meal that would cost $6 outside the airport. They're counting on you being hungry, thirsty, and having no other option. But you do have an option, and it's completely legal. Bring an empty water bottle through security. TSA allows empty bottles of any size. Once you're through the checkpoint, fill it at a water fountain. Every major airport has them, usually near restrooms or gates. You just avoided paying for overpriced water for your entire trip. For food, pack snacks in your carry-on before you leave home. Granola bars, nuts, fruit, whatever you like. TSA doesn't restrict food items the way they restrict liquids. You can walk through security with a full meal if you want. Secret 5. Airports deliberately design layouts to force you past shops. This isn't coincidental architecture. It's called the Golden Walk Strategy, and it's designed to maximize the time you spend walking past duty-free stores and retail areas. Airports create longer walking distances between gates and position shops directly in your path. After security, you're funneled through retail zones before you can reach your gate. The goal is impulse buying. The longer you walk, the more stores you see, the more likely you are to purchase something. And it works. Airports generate enormous revenue from retail, often more than from airline fees. Now that you know this, you can resist it. Walk with purpose. Don't browse unless you genuinely need something. And definitely don't assume duty-free items are cheaper just because they're labeled duty-free. Most of the time, you can find the same products for less on Amazon or at regular stores. Check prices on your phone before you buy anything in an airport shop. Secret 6. The environmental design in airports is manipulating you. Notice how waiting areas near gates have lower ceilings, softer lighting, and carpeted floors? That's intentional. Airports use environmental psychology to make you feel relaxed and calm, which research shows leads to increased spending. When passengers feel comfortable and less stressed, they're more likely to shop in duty-free stores. Studies have found this design approach increases spending by 7 to 10%. The airport isn't designing for your comfort out of kindness, they're designing to open your wallet. The carpet also serves another function in security lines. Changing the floor texture from hard tile to carpet creates what designers call cognitive friction. It subconsciously slows you down, makes you more compliant and easier to screen. You're being managed from the moment you enter the building. Those design tricks increase airport revenue, but airlines have their own methods for gaming the system. Secret 8. Airlines pad their flight schedules to fake good performance. You've probably noticed flights that arrive early. You feel good about that. The airline announces it proudly. Except the flight wasn't actually early. Airlines deliberately add extra time to their published schedules, sometimes 15 to 30 minutes beyond what the flight actually takes. So when you land on time or slightly late according to the actual flight duration, the airline gets to claim an early arrival. This improves their on-time performance statistics, which affects their reputation and can influence federal rankings. It's statistical manipulation. The Department of Transportation tracks on-time arrival based on the airline's published schedule, not the actual flight time. So airlines game the system by padding the schedule. You're not getting better service, you're getting better marketing. The flight wasn't early, the marketing was. Secret 8. Public airport USB charging stations can compromise your device. Those convenient USB ports built into chairs and walls throughout airports seem helpful. Plug in your phone, get some charge while you wait, but security experts warn about juice jacking, where hackers install malware through compromised USB ports. When you plug your phone into a public USB port, you're creating a data connection, not just a power connection. A hacker with access to that port can install malicious software on your device, steal data, or track your activity. This isn't theoretical. It's been documented at airports and other public spaces. The solution is straightforward. Bring your own charging cable and plug it into a standard wall outlet. If you must use a USB port, use a USB data blocker, sometimes called a USB condom, which allows power transfer but blocks data connection. Or just carry a power bank so you never need to use public charging at all. We've covered airport and airline tricks. Now let's talk about protecting yourself and your belongings. Secret 9. Putting your home address on luggage tags tells thieves your house is empty. Most luggage tags have a space for your home address. Seems logical. If your bag gets lost, they can return it. But every baggage handler who touches your suitcase can see that address. Every airport employee who processes it can see it. And unfortunately, so can thieves who specifically look for this information. When your bag is tagged with a home address and you're clearly traveling, that's confirmation your house is currently unoccupied. There's been a documented increase in home burglaries linked to luggage tag information. Travel security professionals have been warning about this for years, but luggage manufacturers still print home address lines on tags because that's what people expect. Here's what to do instead. Use your work address, your destination hotel, or just your cell phone number and email. That's enough for the airline to contact you if needed.
You don't need your home address visible. If you're worried about identification, put your home address on a business card inside the bag, not on the exterior tag where anyone can read it. Secret 10. Once your bag is checked, it's basically on autopilot. When you hand your luggage to the check-in counter, you assume someone is actively tracking it through the system. They're not. Modern airports use barcode scanners and automated sorting machines to move luggage. Staff aren't monitoring individual bags. The system scans the barcode, routes the bag accordingly, and moves on. This automated process is why bags get lost, delayed, or sent to the wrong destination. An old sticker from a previous flight can confuse the scanner. A damaged barcode can send your bag nowhere. The bag arrives too late for its connection and just sits until the next available flight. Nobody's personally ensuring your bag makes it. Take a photo of your checked bag at the counter, including any identification tags. If it goes missing, you have proof of what it looked like and what was on it. Better yet, put an air tag or similar GPS tracker inside your luggage. Then you can track its actual location in real time instead of trusting the automated system. That handles your luggage security. But here's what's happening with your comfort once you're on the plane. Airlines deliberately add extra salt to in-flight meals. Your taste buds become less sensitive at high altitude, dulled by up to 30% due to low humidity and cabin pressure. Airlines know this, so they compensate by adding extra salt and seasoning to make food taste normal to you. What tastes appropriately seasoned at 35,000 feet would taste oversalted on the ground. The problem is all that extra sodium isn't great for you, especially on long flights when you're already dealing with dehydration and circulation issues. Airlines also plan menus a year in advance and optimize costs aggressively. One airline famously saved $40,000 annually by removing a single olive from each salad. Every ingredient is calculated down to the cent. The meal you're eating isn't designed for quality. It's designed for cost efficiency and altitude-adjusted palatability.
Secret 12. Avoid coffee and tea on planes because the water tanks are disgusting. Flight attendants will tell you this if you ask directly. Don't order coffee or tea on a plane. The water used to make it comes from the airplane's water tanks, and those tanks are rarely cleaned properly. Studies have found E. coli, staph bacteria, and other contaminants in airplane water systems. The tanks can go months without thorough sanitation. When you order coffee, you're drinking water that's been sitting in a questionable tank, heated up and served to you. Flight attendants themselves often avoid it. Stick to bottled water, canned soda, or juice. Anything that comes from a sealed container is safe. Hot drinks made from tap water on the plane are a gamble you don't need to take. Secret 13. Window seats are significantly colder than other seats. If you prefer window seats for the view, understand that you're also sitting next to an exterior wall where outside air temperatures can drop to 140 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Even with insulation, that cold transfers into the cabin, and window seats bear the brunt of it. Passengers in window seats consistently report being colder than those in middle or aisle seats. Airlines know this. They don't advertise it because it might discourage window seat selection. If you're someone who gets cold easily, request an aisle or middle seat. If you must sit by the window, dress in layers and don't hesitate to ask for an extra blanket. The flight attendants have them, and they expect window seat passengers to need them. Those are meal and seating realities. Now here's something about how airlines operate behind the scenes that most passengers never consider. Secret 14. Airlines operate ghost flights with almost no passengers. You might think airlines only fly planes when it's profitable. Not always. Some airlines operate nearly empty or completely empty flights to maintain their airport slot allocations. Major airports assign takeoff and landing slots to airlines, and if an airline doesn't use its slots regularly, they lose them to competitors. So instead of losing a valuable slot at a busy airport, airlines will fly an empty plane just to meet the usage requirement. This is obviously wasteful and environmentally questionable, but it's economically rational for the airline. They'd rather burn fuel on an empty flight than lose access to a profitable route. Passengers rarely see this because these flights are scheduled at off-peak times or on routes that are temporarily low demand. Secret 15.
Pilots nap during long flights in hidden crew rest areas. On flights longer than 8 hours, pilots and flight attendants work in shifts, and they take turns sleeping in crew rest compartments that passengers never see. These are small sleeping quarters, usually accessed through a concealed door near the cockpit or above the main cabin. One pilot flies while the other rests, then they switch. This is completely legal and actually required by aviation regulations to prevent fatigue. But airlines don't advertise it because passengers might find it concerning. The reality is this system is safer than having exhausted pilots flying for 12 hours straight. The crew rest areas are basic but functional, equipped with bunks and sometimes a small sitting area. Secret 16. Unclaimed luggage eventually gets auctioned off. If your bag is lost and never claimed or reunited with you after a certain holding period, usually 90 to 120 days, the airline sells it. There's an entire industry around unclaimed luggage auctions. Buyers bid on bags without knowing what's inside, hoping to find valuables. Your lost suitcase with your belongings, your clothes, your personal items gets sold to a stranger who opens it looking for anything worth reselling. Airlines don't make much effort to publicize this because it sounds terrible, but it's standard practice. They hold lost luggage for a reasonable period, attempt to contact the owner, and if unsuccessful, they liquidate it to recover costs. We've covered operational secrets. Now here's something about advantages you can actually use to improve your travel experience. Secret 17. Airport lounges are accessible without elite status. Airlines and airports promote lounge access as an exclusive perk for first-class passengers and elite frequent flyers. What they don't advertise heavily is that many lounges sell day passes. You can buy access for a single visit, usually $25 to $60 depending on the lounge. For the price of an overpriced airport meal, you get access to a quiet space with comfortable seating, free food, free drinks, clean bathrooms, and often showers. Some credit cards also provide free lounge access, even if you're flying economy. If you have a long layover or you're dealing with a delay, paying for lounge access can be worth it. It's cheaper than a hotel room and far more comfortable than sleeping on a gate floor. Secret 19. Cabin lights are dimmed during takeoff and landing for emergency preparation. Most passengers assume lights are dimmed for ambiance or to help people sleep. That's not it. It's a safety protocol. Your eyes need time to adjust to darkness. If the cabin is brightly lit and an emergency requires evacuation into a dark area outside the plane or a dimly lit area, you'd be effectively blind for minutes while your pupils dilate. By dimming the lights during takeoff and landing, which are the highest risk phases of flight, the airline is preparing your eyes for potential emergency conditions. If something goes wrong and you need to evacuate, your eyes are already adjusted. You can see immediately. This is also why window shades must be up during these phases. Flight attendants need to see outside to assess conditions if there's an emergency. But airlines don't explain this during boarding announcements. They just do it and hope passengers comply. And speaking of things airlines don't explain clearly, here's a loophole in the rules everyone should know about. Secret 19. TSA liquid rules have a loophole nobody talks about. The 100 milliliter liquid restriction is famous. Everyone knows it. But there's an exception that TSA doesn't advertise. Frozen liquids are allowed through security if they're completely solid at the time of screening. Freeze a water bottle overnight. When it's solid ice, you can bring it through security even though it's technically more than 100 milliliters. As it melts during your trip, you have drinking water without paying airport prices. This also applies to frozen breast milk, baby formula, and certain medications. The key is that it must be completely frozen, not slushy. If there's any liquid visible, TSA will treat it as a liquid and confiscate it. But a fully frozen bottle is considered a solid item. TSA considers a full water bottle a security threat, but a fully frozen water bottle? Perfectly fine. The water molecules reorganize into a solid structure, and suddenly they're not dangerous anymore.
Secret 20. Airlines overbook flights using algorithms designed to maximize revenue. Wait, didn't we already cover overbooking? Yes, in Secret 2. But here's what most passengers never learn. The compensation is negotiable. When a flight is overbooked and they need volunteers, the first offer is a modest $200 or $300 voucher. If no one takes it, they increase it. Passengers have walked away with $800, $1,000, even $1,500, plus hotel and meals just by waiting. If you're flexible and hear an overbooking announcement, don't jump at the first offer. Wait, see what they're willing to pay, and know your rights. If you're involuntarily bumped, federal regulations require compensation based on delay. For domestic flights delayed 1 to 2 hours, that's 200% of your one-way fare, up to $775. For delays over 2 hours, it's 400%, up to $1,550. Don't accept a $200 voucher when you're legally owed $775 in cash. Those are 20 secrets airlines don't advertise. Most travelers never learn these practices, but now you know how the system works. If this helped, subscribe for more insider travel information and click here for more travel tips.